the zoom on this one?
You have to move the thing.
Okay. Alright, it's already recording. 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so we got this NPR over here we're doing. We're going to knock out some front brakes because his pads are close to nothing. The rotors have a really good lip on them, and it's a lot of work to get these off, so usually it's just a better bang for your buck just to replace them. Here in New England we get a lot of flaking and rust if you reuse or cut the rotors. So these ones are a little bit tricky. Well, first of all, you got to take the bearings apart. You can see that these bearings are, looks like nobody's even greased. These are black as black gets. But luckily there's no galling or anything on these, so we'll just repack them, re-grease them, and send them on their way. You can see that how dirty. This is the good grease and this is the nasty grease there. They're a little bit complicated because they have this tone ring that the ABS runs off of. So you obviously got to pull that off. The tone ring is right here. They press fit into there. So just get your, your puller and your thing, and you just pull the old tone ring off. Make sure you don't jam it up and it's flush on there. And then when you're done, you can just press the new one back on there. You can see we got a new rotor ready to go. Make sure you put a little thread locker on the bolts holding that onto the hub. Put it all back together, grease it up, put a new seal on there, and good to go. Alright, so we have this card here, and it kind of reminded me, the other day we had a young kid who's thinking about doing automotive stuff, and he was asking me, what he needs to do to improve his diag skills. And I kind of wanted to just talk about a few things because there's no like silver bullet for diagnostics. You kind of get as much equipment and weapons and tools as you can to combat these. But this car was at another shop. It just came to us because they put a battery in it. It looks like they put a relay in it. So they were pretty close to the problem. You see, so we're just trying to get this diagnosed for them here. So we have this is the road map. I was telling this young gentleman who came in here, this is your road map. We have no power here sometimes, you know what I mean? We have fuel, so they were gonna do a fuel pump on this thing. So we were checking it, just verifying that. But if you look here, these are all your relay legs here. This is I'll just cut to the chase. This is our faulty one right here. Murillo, go ahead and turn the key on. All right, so we got power there. You can see how when he wiggles the key, wiggle the key again, Murillo. Yeah, so we got power there. Go ahead and try to fire it up. All right, see how we have weird issues with the voltage? Go ahead and wiggle the key. When he's wiggling the key, you can, I don't know if you guys can hear it, but this relay is buzzing. See that? See how it's dropping, stalling? That was her complaint, you know what I mean? So you can turn the key off. So they were close. They thought it was a relay issue. They thought it was a fuel pump issue, but they replaced the relay and that didn't fix it. And then they were going to do a fuel pump. But you can see, the biggest thing about doing diagnostic is you got to be able to think on your feet. You got to kind of have to pivot. There's no path per se. You just kind of have to have a feeling. What's missing here? We're missing the signal to make this fuel pump relay hold power to the fuel pump. So you're gonna have to understand how a relay works and all that kind of stuff. And you get all this stuff from experience. But he was trying to get like a silver bullet of how to be able to diagnose everything. Unfortunately, that does not exist. It takes a lot of experience. I just kind of recommended that he shadow a tech, you know what I mean? Murillo and Noah are here. I try to teach them this stuff whenever I can. But this stuff is, kind of tricky. There is easier stuff to diagnose, but when you kind of get this kind of stuff, it's just kind of something to learn about. What this car ultimately needs is an ignition switch. The ignition is kind of faulty on it. So not a relay, not a fuel pump. We check the grounds on it, make sure your grounds are good and stuff like that. But it's just an interesting case study of thinking on your feet, seeing what's missing from the equation to keep the car running. And then we'll just do that, and you know, the car will be on its way fixed. You know what I mean? So you just have to be able to diagnose all this stuff, to check all this stuff, and don't get lost in the forest. But I thought it was kind of interesting, and you know, thought. All right, on this one, we got a request. Customer brought us his nice new little Silverado there, and he brought us some pieces. He kind of wants to off the beaten path here. He wants to do his own thing. He wants to make an exhaust out of some pieces he brought us here. They're kind of like leftover pieces, I guess. We got this like lightning rod, I guess, we're gonna use for a hanger. Kind of out of the ordinary, not really stuff we do. We do some exhaust work, obviously, but we don't do it with leftover parts from this, that, and the other project. So a little unconventional here. I already kind of bent this here. We're gonna do a kind of a compound bend. We're gonna bend it right up here. I got my, you know, mark right there. So that's what we're gonna do. Let me show you what we're working with right here. All right, so we're underneath here. This is the rest of the pipe that we're gonna use. And we're gonna put this hanger right in the old factory location, like so. And reuse his W.A.U.B hangers right there. All right, so I'm gonna bring you guys along, see if we get you're interested in here, and see which way we go. All right, so we got our welding gloves of mechanic's choice over here. All right, we're just gonna put this in the vise here. We gotta kind of do a compound bend here. All right. Get nice and warm. If any of y'all know what they make this, I'm assuming it's copper. It melts a lot faster than the steel on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see it puddling. If any of you guys know if this is actual copper that they coat these lightning rods in. Alright, now once you get it hot, just give it a little bend. So, try to keep it in the same plane, obviously. How does that look to y'all? It looks pretty good to me. Kind of like that. You know, we're bending it, obviously. I don't know, can you guys see what I'm talking about? We're bending it, obviously. But we want to make sure our plane is the same. Alright, so that looks pretty good right there. Alright, see? Looks pretty good. Alright, let's go see how it fits up. Yeah. Right. And ooh-wee. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's pretty perfect. Alright, so we'll just leave that there for now. We'll get our pipe kind of tacked up where we want it. I'm gonna tack it up right here, right there, and then we're gonna hang it up there and shoot. Pretty straightforward. Alright. All right, so we just welded it all up. Again, I don't know what they cover this this bar with, this lightning rod, but it welds great with MIG wire, ER70S, you know. All right, so that's pretty much a wrap. We might do some pie cuts right here later on, turn it down or something like that, but for now we're gonna throw it on the truck, see how it sounds. All right, so we got this Ford here. I kind of already looked at it, but it actually wasn't acting up earlier, so I got it acting up now. But these Ford dual clutch, you guys know, we've actually done a video on it on our YouTube before. Whole bunch of problems, whole slew of problems. They can either leak, contaminate the clutches, the motor. There's two motors, A and B. They can go bad. The TCMs have a recall on some of them, and sometimes you can get them done under warranty. I mean, just a whole host of issues, but this one in particular, if you look here at the scan data, here's the input shaft speed A, so the clutch speed A, and this is B. Idling like this, you want to see both of them at 0 actually. So obviously what I'm suspecting is that there's nothing wrong with the clutch motors, but the clutch itself is stuck. So what you can do is you can pull all the screws out of your clutch, and the clutch A is right here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right on top there. And then you can kind of pull it back, the little motors here, while the you pull it back like that. I don't know if you guys can see that. Kind of pull it back. Usually I take this air box out of the way, but okay, there you go. So here's the motor right here in my hand. I just pulled it out. I don't know if you guys can see. Right here. But it's out of the transmission, and if you look here, your input shaft speed is still at the same. So you know that there's probably nothing wrong with the motor. I actually, in my first inspection of this thing, I took the Ford tool, which is like a triple square, stuck it in there, and you can feel it's all stuck. So we're just going to recommend a rebuild of these clutches. It has a whole bunch of Ford special tools. Again, you can look at our other YouTube video. We have one on this piece of cake, but that's what we'll do and go from there. This is that motor right there. Got a little, you can see kind of a little triple square right in there. Actuates those clutches. All right, y'all, this is the last thing I'm gonna hit y'all with. This is kind of just a cautionary tale here. Water pump on a Sprinter, diesel. Shoot, you know, this is where Worldpac would just kind of bite you in the butt. I looked this thing up, bought this water pump, you know. This is a Pureberg or whatever they call it. Yeah, Pureberg. It says OEM right next to it. Just be careful, guys. I mean, I matched the thing up, matched all the bolts, you know, kind of counted all the bolt holes. Dingus, though, I missed this little guy. I counted this guy. See this little thing right here? This will set a check engine light on your Sprinter there. This is vacuum actuated. This goes right to the vacuum thing on there. Make sure it's got this thing. Look, they didn't even drill it in here. This is the gasket for it. Should have a gasket on there like this. If it doesn't have a gasket like that, it ain't gonna work. It's gonna set a check engine light. Your car's not gonna run right. All sorts of vacuum leaks on it because basically you're just leaking this to atmosphere because the gasket goes right in here. You don't have this hole here, so you're just leaking basically all your vacuum from you. So you're gonna set like a bunch of codes. Your car's not gonna go anywhere. I mean, your van's not gonna go anywhere. Just don't. I mean, shoot. I guess I mean, I should have known. I mean, obviously I tried to, but I also try to save the customers money when I can. Especially these printer parts are actually kind of hard to get hold of sometimes. We gotta get them from a dealership, probably over an hour from where we are. And then they try to mail them to you sometimes. So it's not like I just want to get them from Worldpac, but you know, shoot, that's the way it's got to be sometimes. But on this one, just watch out, guys. Got to get them from the dealership. Anyway, just hope that help somebody out. Don't freak out if you set your check engine light after you do a water pump on this. Just make sure to check it out. I almost instantly knew I had exactly what I was looking for. I said, man, I should have checked, should have double checked. Actually, should have triple checked because I did double check. But appreciate it, guys. I hope this helps somebody out. And thanks, guys, for watching.